you, afternoon. First of all, my compliments for organizing this. It's a pleasure for me to be here all the way from the Netherlands, and hopefully today I can inspire you with a little bit of the transition we made. So I'm going to tell you something about this neighborhood today, and it's a neighborhood that's just on the outskirts of Amsterdam, in the little town of Weesp. A normal neighborhood with normal streets, a normal theater, a restaurant, a pub, all normal things. A normal neighborhood, but also a nursing home for people living with severe dementia. So all the residents that live here, they have severe dementia in an advanced stage. In the stage that they cannot live at home anymore. They need professional support 24 hours per day, 7 days a week. So a normal neighborhood, special neighborhood. So I'd like to take you back to my first job. When I had my first job when I was 16 and I was studying, I worked in an elderly care home for the first time, and I really loved working with all the people, all the knowledge they have. But I also remember from the time working there in that traditional nursing home that there was a small ward and there was a door in front of it, and you had to press a code to get behind the door. That is actually the place where the people with severe dementia stayed. So they were kind of locked up. I never got behind that door back then, but it always stuck in my mind. I thought, this must be really horrible, scary or aggressive people for them to be locked up behind that door. So a couple of years later, I met one of my colleagues now here in the Hogeweyk, and when I stepped in for the first time, I was really amazed by what I saw. We can do so much more for this group of people. So we didn't start it like this nice neighborhood. We started like the story I told you about my first introduction to a nursing home. We started like a traditional institutional nursing home. Ugly building, 4 stories high, long wards, big dining area, nurses in uniforms, a bit like a hospital. That's not a nice place to be. So in 1992, some of the management team members, they said, this is not what we want to do anymore. It's time for a change. We are not happy, employees are not happy, residents are not happy, family members are not happy, we need to do something. And not just some minor changes, but really drastically change the way we give care for these people. So that was already when the vision was born, 25 years ago. But because when we looked at the residents that lived there, what we did, we saw that we were only adding confusion to confusion. People with severe dementia, they have a huge brain damage, and they are experiencing confusion all of the time. A lot of parts are gone. But we were only adding confusion to that confusion because none of that in that old ugly building was a familiar environment for anybody. So no wonder that we had really strange behavior from the residents that lived there. What do people with dementia really need? They need situations they can cope with. They can somehow, despite the fact that they have a huge brain damage, still can understand. So you can imagine yourself, a traditional lady, traditional Dutch lady in this case, I'm from the Netherlands, living in this nursing home, away from her family, from her old home, sitting there in a big dining area. She used to run the household, she used to do her own grocery shopping, used to cook, she took care of her children, and now she's in a nursing home. Big dining area, she sees people running around in uniforms, makes her feel really uncomfortable. None of that feels like home. So you can imagine yourself, if you are that lady or a gentleman that lives here, how you would feel. So we wanted to do things differently. Normal life, actually. So this is the Hogeweyk, a normal neighborhood for people living with severe dementia. 27 homes. And 6 or 7 people living in each home, people with severe dementia. That 6 or 7 is like a small family household group, a recognizable size, instead of just putting 30 people in one ward. And the house looks like a normal Dutch house, with a normal living room, a normal kitchen, and your own private bathroom. And that makes that you use the space you have in a more normal way. So if we would translate this to Greece, it would look totally different, because I'm sure you're having very different interior styles. But like this lady, she is using the refrigerator in a normal way, because it is a normal refrigerator that's in front of her. It's not an institutional kitchen. And you have dinner at a recognizable dinner table. Also just a situation that you know from home. So if you want to be a normal neighborhood, a normal living environment, you also want to have a normal dining space, the normal dining experience. And your own private bedroom that reflects who you are as a person and not an institutional one. And you live together with like-minded people, because we are all different. We are all brought up in a certain way, we have different backgrounds, different norms and values, different views on life. And that goes for me and also for you. And I live with my family because I like my family, but I cannot live with anybody. And I think it's the same for you. So we have different kind of lifestyles. And for example, this is a traditional lifestyle. For that lady I explained, maybe for stay-at-home moms or craft workers or farmers maybe, a local news focus. They tend to be a little bit introvert. They are a bit sober in interior styling, so beige and browns and greens, traditional Dutch food. But you also have others that are more from urban neighborhoods, maybe folk neighborhoods in Amsterdam, and then they are more expressive, using a lot of color. They like to make a chat, and like to have a beer in the afternoon or drink, folk music, and purple flowers on the wallpaper, pink closets, totally different persons. So we work with lifestyles in the Hogeweyk. We have more, but that reflects who you are. It's all about who you are as a person, who were you before, and who are you still today. And you know, from the traditional institutional nursing home, we just put everybody together and then expect for it to go well. And that is already difficult for us, people with healthy brains, everybody. But if you have a severe brain damage like dementia, that's even more difficult, because then you won't react in the way you and I would. And we also, you will maybe use aggressive language, or use aggression towards the person that's next to you, or you knock on the table, or you shout all day long. All of that is because something irritates you, and maybe you don't even know what's irritating you. Being in a recognizable environment, being something you feel comfortable in, already takes away a lot of those stressors. So also, the plate you're eating from is really important. It's also about details. And if you have a look at this picture, I love this picture. This is a picture taken in one of our formal houses. And you see that these ladies are kind of alike. They wear the same vests, and the same blouses, the same necklaces, the hair's done in a certain way. And then you can maybe think that these three ladies are more likely to get along maybe than some other people. And maybe even can become friends. So that's what working in lifestyles is all about. And in the home you do normal things, things you and I do at home too. Help cooking if you still can, maybe help get the groceries, or maybe if you're in a heavy wheelchair, quite immobile, a bit further away in the dementia, you enjoy the smells and the noises of the cooking process, which also helps you to eat better. That's a recognizable situation. Help fold the laundry, maybe think of that traditional lady I explained to you. Just normal things. If she did that all of her life, then that's who she is and what she likes. So she also wants to feel useful. Doing things she still can. Normal life inside the house, but also having a normal recognizable front door that you can open up on your own. You can put on your coat, or if it's nice weather, it's always nice weather here I think, but if it's nice weather, then you can walk outside on your own to enjoy the fresh air, to enjoy the sunshine, to meet others, see other faces, really meet and interact, have a chat with somebody, and all on your own. Maybe you go to the supermarket while being supported to get the groceries for the house, for the household. Or you go to the restaurant to have a drink, maybe dinner or lunch with your family or friends, or you go to the bar for a nice drink, or you can become a member of one of the 35 clubs we offer, because we don't just do one size fits all. Everybody likes something else. So in this nursing home, in the Hogeweyk, the normal neighborhood, we're not playing or listening to classical music with everybody, because that's not what everybody likes. So you have choice. And when you and I go to our sports club, or you and I go to our restaurant or to the theater, we need to go outside. So why not in a nursing home? Why do we turn everything inwards, like an institute, then we isolate people? And it's not normal, it's not recognizable from your former life. Like music clubs, music is very important for people with severe dementia. So actually, this is a story all about making your own choices. Having a severe brain damage, but being able to make your own choices. Having that autonomy, it makes us who we are. I heard some very interesting things already this morning, and that's just what I like to encourage, because it's about making your own choices. If that is taken away from us, we lose all the fun in life. So still, for this gentleman to decide to smoke his cigar in this shed every day, that makes him feel more comfortable, that gives quality of life. And also this lady, nobody told her that she needed to read a newspaper inside or somewhere else. And also, what newspaper is she reading? That also matters. So we want to know the residents that live in the Hogeweyk. We want to know them because it's important who you are as an individual and what your personal preferences are. So, and what the outcome of all this is actually better quality of life. We are not a hospital. Unfortunately, we cannot cure the disease of dementia yet. What we can do is give these people that live here in a nursing home and that need professional support 24/7 the best last years of their life, quality of life. So they live their normal lives in this neighborhood, but with the professional support they really need. So we have everything from the normal nursing home. It just doesn't look like a nursing home. The outcome also is less irritation, less stress, less agitation, less confusion, and therefore less behavioral challenges. If you know something about dementia, you know that's a common thing. Less behavioral challenge, and therefore also less medication, because you do not have to sedate everybody to keep them calm. Pleasant situation, I think, for everybody. And do you think maybe also now, when I'm telling this story, this is for the happy few? This is only for people with a lot of money. And it's not. We get exactly the same amount of funding that every other nursing home in the Netherlands gets. Most nursing homes in the Netherlands are non-profit. We are as well. And we get exactly the same amount of funding that every other nursing home for people with severe dementia or severe dementia with extra psychiatric issues get. So it's not all about money. It's also about being creative. Being creative how to use your resources. That's very important. So, actually, I think, what would you want for yourself? If I ask that question. So I would like to challenge you. And in this case, I can say, okay, do not dare to be different, but then dare to be normal. Thank you.
So, is it a problem for the other people? Because this special neighborhood, is it like a ghetto? I mean, for the other people, is it okay to go and live there? Do they want to live with old people with dementia?
It is a neighborhood, it's like a safe neighborhood, so that all the people that live there have severe dementia. And then you can say, yes, it's a ghetto, because it's a safe neighborhood. We are still responsible for the people that live there. I think the best situation is we're heading towards a future where we don't need a nursing home for people with severe dementia at all, when it's just integrated in the normal neighborhoods. But that's not the case now. We don't have a dementia-friendly society that we're up for that yet. And then I think, okay, we're still in this situation. We also need to look at the traditional and institutional nursing homes and compare it. Okay, where would you want to live?
In my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, and another question: is it a business? I mean, the Hogeweyk, is it a social business?
It's a foundation.
Social enterprise.
It's a foundation, and we're funded through the government,
okay.
As all nursing homes, almost in the Netherlands, all non-profit nursing homes.
Okay.
But we are our own foundation. We're not government-owned, so we need to get our things together.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice trip.
Perfect.
Thank
So
you.
we'll use the taxi. Thank you very much.